as Catholic Christians, like we have our heritage, right, in Judaism, right, the Hebrews, and the Hebrews were people of the promise, right? They had all of their hope in these promises God had made to them, and it's mostly to their father Abraham, right? And one of the promises God makes to Abraham is that he'll lead those people, he'll lead his people, his family into the promised land, right? And this is a big phrase in the Old Testament, the promised land. This is what the Israelites, the Hebrews are waiting for, is to be led in to the promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey where their prosperity would flourish and everything like that. It's amazing. And we think about the story, right? This amazing story of them being liberated from Egypt, of them struggling through the 40 years in the desert, right? And then Joshua claiming the promised land for his people and going in and taking the land and defending that land for God's people that he had prepared for them. For us, we might see that as just kind of a cool story, maybe a part of history or something like that, but it's so much more than that, right? In a sense, what we see is this struggle that they were in bondage in Egypt, and really they kind of liked their bondage, right? They kind of started to develop Egyptian tendencies, right? Worshiping other gods and things like that. And then when they're liberated from bondage, they have this struggle to liberate themselves, right? To get rid of the Egyptian gods, the Egyptian culture, so that they could become God's people. Once they go through this struggle, once they're God's people, then they're led into the promised land, into freedom. And this is true for all of our lives, right? In a sense, every single one of us has a little bit of Egypt in our heart. We're all in bondage to the world around us. In fact, today, I mean, it seems like we're more in bondage than ever. And for all of us, we need this liberation, and we need this kind of purging, this 40-year period in the desert, so that we can eventually, finally, commune with Christ in a full way and live in the promised land, live in freedom. Scripture says, when the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. This is our promised land. True freedom, true liberty from sin, from selfishness, from death, from worries, from fear. All of us, in a sense, have to leave Egypt, struggle through the desert, struggle against sin, struggle against selfishness, and eventually we gain the promised land. This Advent season, that's what this is all about. We're thinking about our victor, our captain, right? Our Joshua, our Yeshua, Jesus, who will lead us into the promised land of eternity in total and complete freedom.